What's up guys, it's Darren Jackson. Welcome back to the channel. And before we get into the main part of this video, I just want to apologize for not being able to release a video within the past week or so. I live in a state called Texas, and as I'm sure the majority of you guys know, we had a lot of snow come in last week. So a lot of things had to be a little bit more important than making a YouTube channel, including making sure I have water and electricity. But luckily, I have everything back for the most part, and hopefully for you guys that have dealt with a lot more, you're getting there, you're getting through, and we can get through this together. So my wish is out to you guys. But anyway, I'm back. So let's get into this main part of the video, which today we're gonna be talking yet again about Forest Road acquisition. In the previous video that I made, I talked about the merger that was announced between Forest Road acquisition and BeachBody Corporation and Mixed Fitness that was announced about last week, I believe. And one of my subscribers, or potential subscribers, actually made a comment asking me if I heard about a potential lawsuit in between a law firm and FRX. So I'm gonna break down the details of that and what it could mean for investors like you and myself, and if you should even invest into this stock. So let's just get all that started. So just to quickly recap, Forest Road Acquisition recently announced a three-way merger between themselves, Mixed Fitness, and BeachBody Corporation. Now this merger should be taking place by the end of the second quarter, so hopefully by the end of June of this year. And once this merger happens, the ticker symbol will be changed to BODY, B-O-D-Y, which again, great job. And the valuation of this company should be $2.9 billion. And that's where the problem seems to arise in regards to this lawsuit. So to be specific, this $2.9 billion is the pro forma, AKA the expected valuation of this new company that will be called the BeachBody Corporation after the merger itself. And of course, this money is going to be divided amongst different people that had to do with the company, including the PIPE investors or the private investors in public equity, the board of directors for Forest Road Acquisition, board of directors for BeachBody, the board of directors for Mixed Fitness or even OpenFit, which is part of BeachBody, and then the rest goes to us. And that's where we introduce a problem, because according to some websites, at this moment, FRX shareholders such as you and myself will receive 8.8% of the $2.9 billion valuation. We'll get into that math in a second, but that ignited an investigation by a law firm called Brodsky and Smith. Now, they're not the only one, but we're gonna focus on them specifically. And they're investigating FRX, believing that they potentially breached a fiduciary duty by failing to conduct a fair process. Of course, I obviously didn't know what a fiduciary duty was, so don't worry, I looked it up. Fiduciary duty is basically the trust between a trustee and a beneficiary, or in this case, the board of directors and the shareholders, again, you and myself. Overall, they're supposed to make sure they're doing whatever they can that benefits us. And there are three different categories of fiduciary duties. The first one is duty of care, which is the way the board makes decisions that affect the future of the business. The second one is the duty of loyalty, which means the board members never allow any outside interests or personal affiliations or allegiance interfere with responsibility to the shareholders. And the final one is the duty of good faith, which is the decisions that best serve the interests of shareholders. And that's obviously where the problem arises. They want to make sure that FRX is actually doing what they can for the best interest of the shareholders. So here's the math behind this, and full disclosure, I could be wrong, but this is assuming I'm correct. So the valuation is expected to be, yet again, $2.9 billion. If we're only gonna receive 8.8% of that as shareholders, then that means we will receive a little over $255 million. Now, currently, at least as of last Friday, the volume of people trading Forest Road Acquisition was a little over 10 million, but the total amount of shares available in the stock market is a little over 28 million, according to documents that Forest Road Acquisition put up before they IPO'd into the stock market. So if it's going to affect every single stock, whether it's invested into or not, then that means the average share price should just be a little over $9 a share. And that's where things get a little weird, because FRX IPO'd at $10 a share, and now we'd be dropping to 9. But currently it's at around 14 or 15. And I can honestly tell you guys, I don't quite get what would actually happen to the share prices. I don't think it's gonna be bad, like it's gonna drop even if it stays that way and we're gonna lose money. Because I have been a part of at least one other SPAC pre and post merger being highly on holdings even before when it was towards acquisition. and they were going to be valued at $1.9 billion, and we would only receive 14% of that. Now, my average cost per share dropped a bit, but my overall market value stayed the same. So I didn't lose any money. So honestly, guys, if you know a bit more about that specific mathematical breakdown in regards to the percentage I'm receiving from a pro forma, please leave your comments below. Otherwise, I'm gonna do a lot of research and hopefully I can answer that more in a later video. But long story short, that's where we're at right now. Now, obviously the next question you're probably thinking about is it too late to invest in FRX, or should I even invest into them to begin with? So here's my honest answer. If you're like me, except that you haven't invested into them yet, because I currently have a little over 10 shares of FRX, if you really believe in the company and the companies that they will be acquiring post-merger, then I would invest a little bit into it, because I doubt these law firms are going to let FRX and the board of directors actually, I guess, steal money from us, at least in the way I'm thinking. We should be fine in that aspect, but I would definitely keep a lookout. On top of that, when I was doing the additional research, one of the law firms, it might have been Brodsky and Smith, I looked up a couple that were investigating Forest Road acquisition. They actually have a huge list of a bunch of different SPACs that they're investigating for pretty similar things, whether it's a certain percentage of funds that's coming to us as shareholders from the pro forma or from the valuation, or the final stock price post-merger. So this seems like it's just something that law firms do in general, just to make sure that the board of directors have special interest, or the most special interest towards their shareholders, the people that are going to contribute to their capital gains the most, so they can use that money to do other things that will make us invest into them more. Because if they don't treat us well, then they're going to lose a lot of money from them IPOing or from them reverse merging. So it wouldn't make sense for them to do that. So I wouldn't be too worried, but I would definitely keep a lookout for this, as I'm gonna do as well. And I promise, guys, I'm gonna look up as much information as I can as far as how mathematically it may affect us. But since they're under investigation, that 8.8% should change, or they have to prove that it's for the benefit of the shareholder and they're not just holding on to the money for themselves, because that's pretty greedy. But let me know, guys, what do you guys think about this reverse merger in general with FRX as a company themselves, BeachBody, Mixed Fitness, OpenFit, and specifically, what do you think about this lawsuit? Do you have any worries or any concerns? Is there anything you may know that I haven't mentioned? If so, please leave a comment down below, because obviously I don't know everything. I'm learning just as you guys are learning as well. Speaking of learning, make sure you guys watch some of these other videos. I also made some videos pertaining to Forest Road acquisition, so if you want more information pre-merger and upon the news of the merger, make sure you check out those videos. I do hope they help you on your investing journey, as I have in mind. I appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully I can keep electricity. And until next time, take care.